Hey everybody, welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
Hi everybody, it's
And you're
Kat.
here, and you're watching us. You're watching us. Your eyes are on our beautiful faces.
Yeah, I mean, look at my baby, or look at
It's
my
it, yeah,
baby.
yeah. You're
I
you're
don't know.
there.
Is it,
You're
yeah.
there, and I'm here. And I could just and I can make myself invisible almost just by blending myself into the winterscape background. Ooh, this is fun. This is fun. Hey, everybody, still listening to us
Hi guys.
on the podcast or on your podcast app. Check us out on YouTube. You're gonna be able to watch this. Maybe
Yes.
play it in the podcast in your ear and then like watch the video at the same time just so we can get all those hits. That'd be great.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
would like
that would
that.
be great. It would be great. But here we are.
That's a twofer.
Welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt, and you can see me. I just, it's so exciting.
It is.
Oh,
And
oh,
next week it'll actually be live.
oh, yeah. So we're old, okay. I can say that now, okay. I am now elderly, okay. Technology has surpassed me. I can no longer play a video game. I can't even play an old video game. My timing is so off with Super Mario Brothers. I can't even jump on a Goomba anymore. Okay.
Well, if you haven't played it in a while, as we all know, that if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right. So I lost my
And
little
anything you do repetitively, you'll get better at.
my little ability to time my little thumb motions to the little sprite on the screen in order to not lose my life. But that's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know what video games are for? People who have time to play video games. And I don't have time to play video games because I'm busy watching General Hospital.
Yep,
Especially on weeks like this week.
I
Okay.
know.
Deeply,
I had to
intensely
watch
dramatic.
Friday twice.
Friday was a gem of an episode. Friday, from start to finish, Emmy worthy.
It was so good. It
Everybody.
was so good. Me and Grandma were crying at the end of that
Oh my
show.
god, I was crying in the kitchen making breakfast. All right, you know how I watch it. I watch Friday before the podcast, so I could be as fresh as
Yes.
possible and at least the end of the week. I was in
Hmm.
there making my scrambled eggs and bacon,
Hmm.
putting my little Tony Chachi sprinkles on it, you know,
Oh, we got to put some Tonys on there,
yeah, some
huh?
Tony Chachi. It's chichiri or something. I don't know how to say it.
Yes,
Um,
yes. You
I,
got your little Cajun background going a
I
little
got, I
bit.
got, I got, I got my little chachi going. I put my little chachi in it,
Yeah,
right? Mix it up, put it on a hot skillet. A hot skillet.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Matt's grandfather, one of his grandfathers, was a Cajun.
yes, yeah. And the only thing that filtered down to me through the family line was enjoying this Tony Chachi stuff to the point where I can't even tell you what the actual name of the product is. That's how disconnected from the
Well,
Cajun heritage I am.
actually, most folks don't just refer to it as Tony's.
Well, I like calling
That's
it
what it's called.
Chachi. All right.
It's called Tony's.
Because who
That's
loves
it.
Chachi? Not just Joni, but everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, doing that, but do got my little headphones on, my little Hulu playing on my phone, right? And I use your Hulu account, so I never have a commercial for General Hospital, and it's wonderful, and it's amazing, and it's great, and continue to pay for it because I don't want to. And then the baby.
I know.
All right. Okay. So let's talk about the baby storyline. All right. Let's talk about
Let's
the
talk about the baby
intensity of this
storyline.
baby storyline. Let's talk about the dramatics of this baby storyline. Let us talk about how glowingly great, though tragic, this story is.
Yeah. I don't. I thought it was wonderful, Matt. I thought it was so good, and oh my gosh, um, Sophia, right?
Sophia Matson, yes.
Oh, she was just so
Stellar.
stuck. Oh my goodness, yes,
Stellar.
she was just
Stellar.
so good, and Johnny was good too.
Oh, Johnny Walker. Oh, okay. So Johnny Walker's ability to play somebody who has two decisions, two pathways to go. All right. Do we do we keep the baby or do we not keep the baby is pretty much what the decision is. Do we allow it to have a non-life, or do we let it go on its merry way?
Right.
And his ability to play somebody who sees equal logic in both choices and really not knowing what direction to go in was incredible, because every single time he talked about one decision or the other, he sounded perfectly confident and also completely unsure all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Blown
Yeah.
away by Johnny Walker during this. Now, I know that the biggest criticism, there's two huge criticisms to this story, and let's just get them out the way. Number one, the timing. It's Christmas next week.
I agree with that.
It's
With that
Christmas
to a
next
certain
week.
degree.
All right. It's
I
Christmas
agree
next
with
week.
that to a certain degree.
And the second one is, how dare they do this to Sophia Metz? And she just had a baby, and now they're making her do a character where the baby died? How insensitive is that? Which I don't agree with in any way, shape, or form.
I don't either.
She's an actress playing a character.
Yes.
I've said this on Twitter, so if you guys want to go to the 10th Floor GH Twitter account and kind of take a look at what I've tweeted in response to some fan reaction out there, you totally can. But when it comes down to it, Sophia Matson's a professional actress. This is something that Sasha is going through, not Sophia. Sophia has a happy, healthy, boisterous baby at home.
Yes.
There is no reason why an actress playing a story in which the baby is not boisterous and happy and healthy at home would be devastating to Sophia's psyche at all. She's got a fine baby at home. This does no damage to her.
I don't think it does damage to her either. I think it would be taxing on anybody
On anybody,
that was
absolutely.
telling this story.
But let's
I
talk
think
about
it would
it.
have some, yes, I would think it'd have some effect on you telling this sad story.
Oh, for sure.
But I think her being a new mom probably helped her tap into it a little bit.
Yeah.
She knows what it's like to love your newborn baby so desperately.
Very much.
She knows that.
Yes.
And I think, this storyline, I don't think it was any harder on her than it was somebody else.
So this is not a new story for
Not
GH.
really.
We've had similar stories in the past. I actually did a little bit of research, because there's two characters that I know of that lost children when they were young, Sam McCall and Bobby Spencer.
Yes, Sam's baby was still born.
Right. Sam's baby was still born.
She carried it, and she carried to full term though.
Right. And then BJ was like 3 years old or something.
She was 6.
6.
I
Okay,
think
a little older.
6.
6, a little older.
Yeah.
So I did some research.
I believe that BJ was in a school bus accident, if I remember correctly.
Oh man, tragedy.
It was tragic.
So and there's just so much good and so much bad that can come from tragic storylines. But I did some research and I looked into it, and it doesn't look like Kelly Monaco has had any children. And if she does, there's no information about them on the internet.
She doesn't.
So I was trying to see how if Kelly Monaco was a mother, and how long before running the Lila storyline, the baby Lila storyline, how long that was going. You know, in relation to the age of her children. She ain't got none. Okay, bad example. However, Jackie Zeman, guess how old her daughter was in real life when little Miss BJ died in that bus accident? About 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, so...
Where is the outrage that they put Jackie Zeman through that?
Well, the outrage was probably there, but social media wasn't.
I mean, maybe. I also feel as though, all right, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Some of this fan reaction, a little sensitive. Just a little sensitive.
Perhaps.
Just a smidgen. Just a little bit.
I think this storyline, well, like I said, would be hard on anybody.
It was hard on me to watch.
So tragic. I believe the storyline was hard on Maurice Bernard. Did you see him sitting there and then talking? Okay, all right, Maurice.
Maurice, we made this revelation on the podcast a couple of weeks ago that your father passed away pretty much the exact same way that Mike Corbin did.
Yeah.
Pretty much the exact same way.
Yes.
And for him to be able to have that conversation, okay, all right, the conversation that he had with Sasha and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell when Maurice Bernard is studied the script a little bit and he's being Sonny. And you can also kind of tell when he hasn't really studied the script a little and he's being Maurice. There were so many your dad, your mother, your father, my father, your dad, Mike the baby. There was so much say something correct, say something correct, say something correct, which is the speech pattern that I make fun of, that I do my parody of, was so thick during that there was no scripted lines that I was reciting. It really felt like it was something that just from his experience and just more catharsis and more on-screen therapy that Maurice Bernard got over the last couple of years on General Hospital. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but Maurice Bernard is a different man now than he was 2 years ago.
Oh, I think so too.
And I really think that we have the stories that GH has been telling to thank. Because Sonny hasn't been Sonny in a long time.
No.
He'll go and have a conversation with Constance Wu or whatever her name is. Selena Wu. And go, maybe Peter needs to die. You know, we're gonna get our justice. You know, he pulls that out every once in a while. But he hasn't been to a 5-family meeting. He hasn't been in a shootout in a year. You know, like, it's just a different approach to Sonny. And I think Maurice is benefiting from it.
I think so too.
Just my thoughts. I don't know them. I don't know
I don't know either.
I don't know them.
Kind of wish I did, though.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll be able to, maybe we'll all become best friends at the GH Con.
Yeah.
I mean, Sonny needs a new best friend, right? Jason's dead.
I know. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with Sasha and Brando after a little bit of time has went by.
There was so much strength and power, I thought, at the end of that. Just so much power, really. At the end of that, when they came out of the room and they stood in the hallway holding hands and kind of caught everybody's attention, and then Britt kind of takes a couple of steps forward, and Brando just does a little slight nod, and everybody understands what that means, and they start to make preparations for it and all that kind of stuff. And Sasha just speaking about finding the strength to do the right thing for their little boy.
Yeah.
At the end, yes, tragic, so sad, absolutely horrible. But the power, I don't know, I'm trying to come up with a different word other than power, but the strength of it, gosh, I don't even know what words I'm trying to put together when it comes to describing how I felt while I was watching this. It was challenging because it touched me so deeply that it's hard for me to put into words.
Oh, it did me too. You know, it was like, oh my goodness, you got the tragedy of the baby, and then you got Max Gail walking back in.
Max Gail, fading in, taking the baby into the afterlife. Like, I want to be walked into the afterlife by Max Gail. All right. Like, who would you want to open your heavenly eyes to see other than sweet old Max Gail standing there? All he has to do is fade onto the screen and say one line. Like, I'll do it as good as you said, or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I honestly, at the end of this all, and I know that it's been sad, and I know that it's been tragic, and I know that it's been heartbreaking for people out there, and they don't agree with the timing, and they don't agree with a bunch of stuff when it comes to the storyline. But I think that it's also very important that people who have been through a tragedy such as this have the ability to connect with people on TV who are going through a tragedy such as this. I haven't experienced this myself in my real life, so I wouldn't be able to relate, but I can hope that people who can relate to what Sasha and Brando were going through came out of that feeling great.
Well, I think it was portrayed. I can't imagine, but I would think that it would be pretty close. Don't you think of how it,
I would think
the way
so,
it was? I think so.
but I
Man,
think
it's just all tragic.
but I really think that seeing that indecision over a couple of days and the back and forth and Britt going in to explain the situation 2 times, one gently and then one, okay, here are the finer details that you really need to know that I didn't get a chance to say before because of the situation.
Hmm.
To go through all of that and then to watch them back and forth. Should we, shouldn't we? Should we, shouldn't we? Even Brando was like, oh man, the choice is really, really, really simple, isn't it? Like, we got to let the baby go. But then Sasha says one or two things to him and he's completely off of that and
Yeah,
going, maybe, well, I mean, and just all the different conversations and the advice and all of that kind of stuff that was coming from everybody to all culminate in this couple coming out and showing the strength of their decision.
yeah.
The, yeah.
I think, there's a couple of things that really helped Sasha make her mind up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and ultimately, we all knew that that was the conclusion she would come with.
Yeah.
And I think everybody would, if it
Yeah.
was happening to you, you would have it. There's two things that really came to mind that made her really, really accept the reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny talking to her
Very much so.
was one thing. And Britt saying he will never even open his eyes.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing, because if the baby was going to be able to be cognizant of the world around him in some capacity, that's
Hmm.
something. But if
Hmm.
if if the baby is literally only alive because of the machinery that's plugged into him,
Hmm.
that's tough. It's just so
And
sad
the
and
way
so
they
tragic.
portrayed it too, and it's the way they portrayed it is exactly what they told her medically. As soon as they cut off that machine, the baby was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, pretty much the instant.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I hold the baby? He came into this world, with me. He's gonna go out with me.
Hmm.
I really found a lot of beauty in Sasha at the end of that. Just
Hmm.
I know that tragedy is hard, and I know that it's challenging to watch somebody go through that, especially somebody that you feel connected to. There's a lot of people out there that didn't really take to Brasha. That's totally okay. I totally took Brasha. I really enjoyed seeing them together, and I was really excited to see what's going to come from this.
Hmm.
And then we have this tragic baby turn, which I didn't see coming.
Oh, I didn't either.
I had no idea this was going to go down. I mean, I do my best to avoid spoilers, but even then, like something big like this, I feel like I would have heard about, and I didn't. Um, and so,
No,
yeah,
there was one particular, I forgot what it was now, but it was on Facebook. It was a GH thing that I was seeing on Facebook. And they were so bad with spoilers being on the very first sentence
yeah,
that I had to just leave that group
yeah,
because I couldn't avoid a spoiler on
yeah.
that particular
We haven't gotten
page.
in trouble for this yet, but I did block some accounts on Twitter that were spoilerific because I didn't want somebody to retweet it or something like that and have it show up on our timeline when we're, going through our GH tweets. Um,
Mhm.
I have learned since then that you can mute accounts and you don't have to block them outright. And blocking somebody is rude in the Twitter world. So if I blocked you, sorry, I don't know how to fix it. Like I said at the top of this podcast, I'm old now. Technology has escaped me. I thought we were going to be able to do this YouTube live, and then there was another button I had to click that I never clicked before until this morning, and here we are.
This kid keeps on referring to himself as old, and I'm 24 years older than him, you
I
guys.
can't even make a spreadsheet
I'll
do what
let
I
you
want
know
it
when
to
you're
do.
old, Matt. You're not. I'll let you know when you're old.
All right, fine. You can tell me when I'm old. But for now, I've aged out of quickly understanding how newfangled technology works. So
Yes.
same thing with Twitter. If I blocked you, I don't know how to unblock you, so I'm sorry. It doesn't mean that I hate you. It doesn't mean that you said anything offensive to me. I just didn't want to see you spoil GH, and that's all.
we just we just want to be surprised by stories
Because there are people that
sometimes.
are in the know. I don't know how these people get in the know, but there are people who are in the know. They know exactly what's going to be coming down the pipeline in the next 2.5 months on General Hospital, and I want to
Yeah,
avoid that.
me
I
too.
like watching my shows as a process of
Too.
discovery.
Me too. If I know what's
Yeah.
if I know what's going to happen, it's not nearly as exciting.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. You know, like when Cyrus gets out of jail. I don't know when that is. I don't know when that's gonna be. I feel like it's coming, but I want to see him when those elevator doors open. That's when I want to
Well,
see Cyrus.
this is not really a spoiler because it was on next week on General
Well,
Hospital.
there you go.
You don't see that because you don't watch it on
Right. I'm on
ABC.
Hulu, so I don't get any of the previews unless I look them up.
Right. So I did see next week on GH, there is Laura with the red phone in her hand
With a red
at the
phone.
window. So she's visiting her brother.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Well, they did do an attempt on their lives.
Yeah. So I think Laura's going to go see Cyrus next week.
Good.
Oh, and by the way, too, I saw today. Happy birthday, Jeff Kober.
Yes, Jeff Kober's birthday was yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, happy birthday, Jeff Kober. Welcome back to GH, Jeffy. Oh, you know, welcome back to GH as well, Brad.
Yes,
Brad
look
was
at
let
you,
out of
Perry
jail.
Mhm.
So okay, so Perry Shin. I did not know much about Perry Shin, the person, the actor who plays Brad. I still don't know very much about
Way
him.
older than you might suspect.
He's like 49 years old, by the way, everybody. This man is almost 50. Holding it together. And I didn't know much about Perry Shin. I knew a little bit about Brad, and as we said on the podcast, I didn't know much about Brad except for the fact that he kidnapped Wiley and was frantic about it for a year. That's pretty much the only Brad that I've known, and I know even less about Perry Shin. However, looking at Perry Shin's social media accounts as his character is getting closer and closer to coming back on GH has been a joy. This man takes such revelry in his job and understands Brad and the audience's relationship with Brad so well.
The audience hates on Brad quite a bit, but they hate on somebody else harder, that's for sure.
They hate on a lot of people, and that's really hard for me to suss out with such.
No, Peter.
Oh well, yeah,
Where's Randy?
it wasn't even a thought of mine because it was too obvious. But Perry Shin is amazing. He's hilarious. He's got such a great attitude too when it comes to people hating Brad. Because he understands that people are supposed to hate Brad, but then he also kind of makes fun of him for it, especially when they don't realize who he is. Because he just comments on his comments as another commenter, even though he uses his name, Perry Shin. And so we'll put something up on Instagram and be like, oh my God, like a generic thing, like Perry Shin coming back, or happy birthday, Perry Shin, or something like that, right? A retweet or something from a GH account. And people be like, oh my God, Brad's coming back. Oh, I hate him. And he'll reply like, yeah, I hate him too. What makes you hate him so much? It's like, I stole Wiley and he was bad for Lucas. And he's like, you know what, you're right. He's such a toxic character. Maybe they shouldn't bring him back at all.
That is funny.
And I just enjoyed it. And then this little exchange that I watched, it just really made me laugh because at the end, he asks her, oh, well, what do you do for a living or whatever? She's like, oh, I'm a stay-at-home grandma. I've been watching General Hospital for 50 years or something like that. And she goes, well, what do you do? And he goes, oh, I'm Perry Shin. I play Brad in General Hospital.
I love that. That's funny.
And then this lady replies something along the lines of, oh, well, just so you know, I don't hate you, Perry. I just don't like Brad.
Well, thank you. That's the way it's supposed to be.
That's the way it's supposed to be. But I'm actually I'm interested. I'm a little intrigued as to what's going on with Brad and what might be in his future, because as it stands right now, his future is not in his hands in any way. What's happening next for Brad is not going to be his choice. He's out of jail because of Selena Wu.
Yeah. You know, she has an agenda. There's no way
she has an agenda.
Yeah,
Brad,
she does. And it ain't going to be good.
I am here for it. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. All right. I want to see what Selena Wu's plan for Brad Cooper is. It's like, what do you even want me here for? What do you even need me here for? Why'd you get me out of jail? Right?
What do you want?
So he does that, and you didn't even claim me until like a month ago. Like, what do you want? Just because you were adopted doesn't mean that you're not my nephew. There's something there, and I really want to know what it is.
She has a motive for getting that kid out, and it wasn't because she just thinks he's done his time and it's time for him to get out. Oh, heck no. I
No.
don't think Selena does anything without a
Oh.
motive.
Oh no.
She, you know what I love about it? We haven't had a real good evil villain that was a female in a while. Like
I
a
mean, it's
really
like
good
Helena,
villain.
right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like a dark villain,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a misunderstood, I made a mistake, I'm dumb, blah, blah, blah. Not a Nina. She's a villain in my book.
Yeah.
But
I
she's,
mean, Nell was pretty
she's
villainous, but
oh
very
yeah, now what?
specifically villainous. Yeah, but
But I think Selena Wuzo is gonna be more like a Helena
I
where
think what you're talking about is the same ability to be such a mastermind like a Victor Cassadine. Like we haven't had a
mhm,
mastermind female villain. Um, Nell was
right.
Nell was crazy. She was bouncing off all of the walls and
Mhm,
reacting to all kinds of stuff,
mhm,
but she was not a well thought out person. She didn't do a lot of planning and positioning and thinking. She messed with some people. She made Carly think that Morgan was alive, but there was no
mhm.
deep plans of machinations. She grabbed some scissors and cut Brooklyn's throat so she could kidnap a baby. Like those are moments those are decisions you make in the moment. Um, but Selena Wu seems to be a little more thought out,
Calculated.
a little more calculated. And her
Mhm,
saving Jason and Carly from the car bomb, and her graciously allowing Sonny to pretty much give her all of the Novak territory, at least half of it or something like that. Um, then into this Brad thing. She is positioning something. She's earned
absolutely.
the trust of Sonny. She has tried her best to calm Michael down.
Ooh, Michael's in her face though, isn't
Oh
he?
my god. Okay,
He doesn't realize
Michael.
how dangerous she is.
So this is the fun new development when it comes to Michael, and I really like the direction that they're pushing him in. Because come on, how many times can I call this man white bread tube of toothpaste before something has to change for Michael, right?
Mhm.
And no hate, Chad Duell's fine. Michael's had some fine stories before, but he's not the young adult anymore. He's not the Jocelyn Cameron anymore. And he hasn't
No,
been for a little while. And I think there's been some struggle in figuring out who Michael is going to be now that he is not just Sonny and Carly's kid.
right.
And so while they've been trying to figure that out, they tried this, they tried that. Oh, he's the nice one. Oh, but he's not working at ELQ anymore. We're not really doing anything with his CEO job at Aurora Media. Okay, okay, okay. Then they played with the relationship with Willow for a long time. And
Mhm.
now they've decided that Michael is going to be kind of a DICK when it comes to people dealing with his kid.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
an unforgiving DICK. We're on YouTube now, so we got to really be mindful so we don't get flagged and
Oh, okay.
demonetized. Not that we're monetized or
Okay.
anything.
Hmm. Okay.
But anyway, geez, man, it's a fun direction to take Michael in, and I'm here for it, and I'm interested to seeing how this completely wrecks his relationship with Willow and with his family coming soon. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But Michael's in trouble because he is feeling a lot of power because he's had a lot of power his whole life while being
Mhm.
away from the danger associated with the power that he's carried. Because you can't be a part of the business. Just get out of here while we're talking about stuff. I never wanted this life for you.
Mhm.
So he was kind of
That's been sunny
pushed.
for that's been sunny for his entire family,
Right. So he's been kind of
including.
pushed more Quartermain than Corinthos just based off of opportunities that were going to be provided by family.
Mhm.
But that also means that he hasn't been close enough to the danger of Sonny's life to understand exactly what he could potentially be stepping into. He knows that it is dangerous. He
Mhm.
knows that there are deathly risks when it comes to Sonny and his associates. But what he doesn't
Sure.
seem to understand is that the wrong word to the wrong mob boss means that you could get gunned down
Yeah.
in an
He could
instant.
have he could have a tragic accident.
She was able to slip poison into Peter's food in like an hour.
I know. That's crazy.
What do you think she can do to you, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you genuinely do get in her way. She didn't want you to speak up against Brad at the thing, at the parole hearing, but you did.
Mm-hmm.
He got out anyway. Maybe that's water under the bridge. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But are you threatening me, Mr. Corinthos? No.
Did you notice that she says Corinthos correctly now?
Yeah, because she's at
She
Corinthos
doesn't
for a
say
while.
toast. She doesn't say toast anymore. She says thos.
That was probably just a note. I would imagine that the producers were like, I appreciate the native accent that you're putting on Corinthos there, but the fans are going to start commenting on it. I don't know.
We did.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm all for it. And Selena, I'm afraid of her. I'm afraid of her.
oh, she's dangerous. I haven't seen her smile much. Have you?
No, because
No.
she's still serious. She's still listen. She's still a mob mistress. All right.
Now, if Jason was still alive, if Jason was still there, I think he would have probably said something to Michael about you need to chill your bones.
Yeah. Sonny really isn't doing that, but then Sonny's also kind of just a chill dude at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Jason would have been like, hey, maybe you shouldn't confront Selena Wu. Maybe you shouldn't call her Selena.
Yeah, that was weird too. I thought that was
Yeah.
a little weird.
Yeah. So Michael's going to find himself in some trouble here pretty soon when it comes to this whole Brad situation.
I think so too.
Yeah, this is leading into whatever Michael's next story is going to be, because currently he's really not a part of one.
Yeah.
So this Brad getting out of the jail and Selena having something up her sleeve, I think is going to affect. It's going to affect Michael and it's going to affect Willow. Oh, how dare you!
She's more assertive now too.
She's more assertive, but completely forgot that she left her kid's birthday party to go bone Michael while her husband was in a wheelchair.
Yes, she did do that.
How dare you!
Oh, but her mama showed up. She saw her mama in Rice Plaza. That was kind of cool.
You lied about the father of your baby. How could you do that? Yeah, her mama showed up. Who's got a hugest crush on Alexis. Oh, I can't wait for this. I cannot wait for this. Come on, GH. Come on. It's another bad match for Alexis. Not because they don't have chemistry, not because I don't think that they wouldn't have fun together, but because of her relationship with Christina. Like, it's another bad move, Alexis. Go right for it. That's your whole MO.
Well, she was about to invite her for Christmas.
Oh yeah, I forgot about your involvement with Christina, which I think is understandable. Okay, all right, I get that Harmony BOD.
Oh yeah, you were gonna let that dude rape my daughter, weren't you?
We were gonna do that. Now, okay, it's also okay, guys. It's been 3 years, and Harmony does not behave like the same person. And Harmony was in the background of all of that. Like, she was there, but she wasn't really there. So
Right.
while she didn't do anything to stop it, she didn't jab Christina with a needle or anything.
But she did groom people.
She did groom people. She's definitely
Yes,
totally
she did.
involved. Definitely inappropriate for Alexis to
And she
invite
would give them
Harmony
the
over.
tea. She would give them
She
the
made
tea.
the tea. She gave the tea. Yes.
Yes.
All of that stuff is absolutely true. But I also think that it's been a number of years. Shiloh was the focus of that whole thing. So I think that it would be possible for somebody to temporarily, for a moment, forget, oh yeah, you're more than just my friend I met in jail.
Right.
Just for a moment. You know, it's not like she totally wiped that from her mind.
And the relationship she had with Harmony while she was in jail was completely separate.
Totally separate. It was both women trying to kind of rebuild their lives based off of the poor choices that they made.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Alexis was drunk on the sauce, and Harmony was drunk on Shiloh. You know, so
yeah,
I think that there's so much potential for some really interesting stuff between those two characters, and I really think that taking a character like Alexis and pushing her in a new direction, like a homosexual relationship type of deal, I think would be fun and new and different and totally up Nancy Legrand's alley. I and even so you look back to yesteryear, right? And you read your great grandmother's letters to her best friend of the world, Nadine, or something like that.
Mhm.
And as an adult, you read those and you're like, okay, great grandma.
There's some
mm,
fried green tomatoes going on here.
this is this feels a little intimate there, grandma. Um, so that happens, maybe later in life somebody realizes men aren't for me, maybe later in life. And I think that women have a higher likelihood of being able to like connect with each other and then taking that to the next level than two dudes, unless they've already decided that they're gay. Just
Yeah, I
because
can see that.
I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out my butt and I'm being a sexist. I don't know, but I feel as though the likelihood of two women coming together later on in their life and deciding, you know what, this works for me, is a higher chance than if two dudes were.
Mhm.
But I could be crazy. I could be wrong. I'm not a behavior expert. I don't know. But I'm interested. I'm interested in see what happens.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Harmony and Wiley, new Wiley. Got all kinds of new kids. Um,
Yeah, the SOARs went through that place like COVID, huh?
oh boy. um, yeah, yeah. Everybody got the floor. I do find it interesting that they went from Scout remembers Drew because she's looked at Drew's picture every day of her life and it's right next to her bed to Scout never wanting to talk to Drew. I found that to be kind of interesting. But then again, I don't know children either. Like I said, I'm not a behavior expert.
But at the end of the episode, though, they made a connection.
Yeah, the little star. She found him the little star
Yeah, she got
and,
found the little
and
star.
trusted him to pick him up.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the beginning of Scout having a relationship with her
We
daddy.
got to talk about how natural Sam and Drew are together. the, oh my god, I thought I enjoyed Sante, but no, it's Drew Sam, okay? Drew Sam,
Yeah, yeah,
Saru.
but what we gonna? I can't help but think that Dom,
Mm-hmm.
Dante.
Yeah.
Oh, his character's starting to fall flat again.
He needs something. He needs something.
He needs something.
And maybe this will be the thing, a love triangle. But it just, I mean, when we're just talking about natural chemistry of two actors on the screen together, two characters interacting with each other, the immediate, like, oh gosh, see, I miss so much of Billy Miller as Jason. All right, I saw most of my Billy Miller was Drew when Steve Burton had come back. Um,
Hmm.
and so, I saw some of the relationships that she had with Drew, but I didn't see most of the relationship that she had with Drew.
Hmm.
But I really feel as though if you know how you're friends with somebody, right? And then they move to like Ventura or Reno or something, right?
Hmm.
And then you see them and it's like no time
Hmm.
has passed.
Yes.
I got that from Drew and
Hmm.
Sam.
Hmm.
Like their immediate reclick, just sitting around the island talking and laughing. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! And
I
good,
think
good,
that's the
good, good
first time
job.
I've ever. I think that's the first time we've seen the Quartermain kitchen in a very, very, very long time.
You're fine.
If ever.
And good job, good job, Cameron Matheson. Like I think that you're
Yeah.
you're kicking some butt here, as Drew. I'm,
Yeah, he
I'm
is.
really not thinking about Ryan Lavery at all, and I haven't been thinking
I'm
about
not
Ryan
either.
Lavery since the beginning. He should when he was just shirtless, beat up in the jail cell. Yeah, okay. Hey Ryan, what are you doing on this show?
Hmm.
But very, very, very little since then. So little since then.
Yeah. Well,
Gosh.
I was very much looking forward to him. I said on the podcast before, I was very much looking forward to him being in Port Charles, being cleaned up,
Mm-hmm.
being Drew, and I am enjoying it very much as well.
Yeah, yeah. So now he's reuniting with his family. He's finished the apologetic tour. He is finished telling people how much he's admired Jason. I found
Hmm.
myself admiring Jason. So
Hmm.
we got rid of that. We're moved on from that. Now he's reuniting with his family, reconnecting with Sam and with his daughter Scout, and about to go figure out what's going on with Marshall.
He is,
Because
isn't he?
Curtis
Because
and Drew were
Curtis,
good friends, man. They were
yes,
good
they were.
friends.
Yes, they were. And he called Curtis, and Curtis called him
Yep.
and said, "Hey, you know what you that favor you said looking
Let's
into
do
my
it.
dad,
Let's do it.
do it.
Let's do it. Let's find out what's
Looking into
going on with that Marshall.
my deadbeat dad. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that the instrument is called Henrietta?
Why is that
What's
interesting?
Aunt Stella's last name?
Henry.
There you go.
Well, but then that would also make I mean, that would also make Curtis's mom's maiden name Henry as well, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because Aunt Stella never
You're
got
really
married.
trying to put together this Marshall and Stella had a baby Curtis thing. You're trying real hard for that. And now it's entirely possible. And since this is General Hospital, it is the Ashford family, and it's a soap opera, the likelihood of this is good.
I think that we're going to discover the reason why Marshall left town is because he had put his family in danger with some crazy choices he had made.
Yes,
And so he had to leave.
absolutely. He got involved in the mafia for music or something.
And he should have just see, he came into town kind of slinky, right?
Yeah.
Came into town kind of slinky.
Mm-hmm.
He should have just put all his cards on the table. But then that wouldn't have been good
Cards
so.
on the table, we're both showing hearts.
But
Risking
I
it
didn't see
all
this.
though
I
it's
didn't see this
hard.
coming. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think that Stella was going to know all along that he wasn't dead.
Yeah, I mean that was a revelation to me, and because of that revelation, it really took, at least in my on my half of this podcast, this bottom half of the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
this bottom half on this, this border and down below, that took a lot of the wind out of the Stella is actually Curtis's mom's sails. Just because it seems like the secret that is being held is a different one than that.
Maybe there's more than one secret.
Maybe. I would say that the only other thing that's holding me back from fully being on board with the Stella's actually Curtis's mom situation is the fact that this we is Portia and Trina. We are maybe a week away from Marshall going, that that Trina looks a lot like my cousin. you know, you know what I'm trying to say. She's got a little
Or
Ashford. She got
Trina looks like Irene.
or something, Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say, like, and because he met her and talked to Portia a little bit, and he was like, "Oh, who's this?" But
Yeah.
then she gave him a piece of her mind, and
And
all
she
that.
talked smack to him, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
That
That's my
Trina's
daughter.
so
She's
good at.
opinionated.
I like Trina. I like Trina because she don't put up with no mess, and she's just. I've said it before, but it's just for such a young woman, she just stands her ground.
She was taught well by her mother. So I just get the feeling that Marshall's going to comment on she looks like Irene or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be a problem for Portia, which is part of the reason why him being back in town is also kind of freaking out her. I know it's put some distance between her and Curtis because Curtis has been distracted, but also this is Trina's grandpa is in town now, and she has feelings about it. They haven't talked about it, but come on, she's got some feelings. She has to.
Well, and didn't Portia say, would it be that bad?
Yeah,
That's what she said to
yeah.
Curtis.
Would it be that bad? But I mean, so Stella does not immediately hate this man.
Nope.
She's unhappy. What are you
Mm-hmm.
doing back here? But we have seen Stella hate somebody, and she does not hate
We sure
Marshall.
have.
She does not
She
hate
got it.
Marshall.
No, she doesn't. She get stand still. He gets a forked tongue fast,
Yes.
and
And
she didn't.
she wanted to
And
know
she didn't.
why he came back, not she didn't read him the riot act over his decisions or why he left or the danger that the family was in or what have you been up to anyway or anything. It was simply, the hell are you doing back here?
Mm-hmm.
So I it just, oh gosh, another interesting story that I'm looking forward to seeing develop.
We might find out. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to write that the reason why he's back is because he's just found out about a diagnosis.
There's something
And
maybe,
this is,
you know,
and this is his
I'm
chance.
dying. Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. It's hard to say until some more of these secrets are revealed. Um, I guess he's been a musician and not a boxer, which is unfortunate. I don't know. I was
You
just
could
into the
both.
boxer thing.
Do both.
Maybe, because you can do the boxer, prize fight, and I threw some fights and then left with the money, and that's why you guys are in danger. I know it's kind of a cliche old storyline, but we could do it.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
got to come with something.
Yeah,
They're gonna explain it somehow.
yeah. They got a boxing gym that TJ was at. No sleeves,
Hmm.
longer hair. Yeah,
Hmm.
TJ. Thomas
Yeah,
Jr.
and his
Thomas
grandpa
Jr.
was behind the.
If you
His
didn't,
grandpa
yeah,
was behind the bag thing.
yes, the
Curtis
heavy
didn't
bag.
realize it was there
Um,
right away.
if you didn't know what TJ stood for before, you know now. You definitely know now because they only say Thomas Jr. now, pretty much.
Hmm.
uh, but it's
Sometimes they
nice.
just call and they referred to him one time this week as just Thomas.
Maybe they'll be making a transition. TJ's kind of a young name. It's also kind of a cliche name too.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I don't know. I don't know why I'm so excited about everything, but I am. Maybe because we finally got our Jax Jason shakes out, and we can focus on the show again. I feel like I've been majorly distracted from the show over the last couple of weeks, and not so much this time.
I agree. That wasn't like a looming thing anymore this week. And
Right.
before that, it was kind of a looming thing.
Like it's over. It's done
Um,
with. We're moving on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not going back to Crete.
No, Crete's over, and Peter
It's
will
over.
probably survive. And I mean, Elizabeth got her moment to shine that everybody's been begging for. She almost killed that man.
Oh, I know.
And then I'm
Man.
saving you like you saved me, Elizabeth. People can
Yeah.
see it now. People can see it now. My lips. I saved you like you saved me, Elizabeth.
Yep.
You pulled me back from the brink, and I'm gonna do the same. You kept me from leaving Violet, and I'm gonna keep you and your children's lives. Hey, everybody.
Yep.
Oh man, he hasn't been so lip heavy recently though. Either that or I totally got
Yeah.
used to
Oh,
it.
you know what I thought? I thought of one line that from something we stopped talking about, but let me go back to it
Oh,
for a minute.
please go.
Okay. Do you remember when Brit when they were saying something about giving the information about the baby, and she says, "Well, it should come from the bridge,"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember who she was speaking with. It. No one's referred
Epiphany.
to, huh?
She was talking to Epiphany.
Yeah, no one's referred to you that in a very long
Yeah,
time.
nobody's called you the Britch in a long time. Epiphany,
Yeah.
perfect accessorial character to include in this.
Oh, I think so too.
Perfect. Not only is what's her name? What's her actress's name? Oh dear. Oh dear.
It'll come to me.
Yeah.
Sonia Eddy.
There we go. Sonia Eddy.
Right?
Yes.
Sonia Eddy.
Just a powerhouse house of an actress, and absolutely deserving to have been a contracted player for the time that she was, and absolutely deserving to still be on the show today. Um,
Yes.
because her ability to pull the "get out of my face, I'm getting to work," and then also be able to pull the I lost a child too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just brilliant. She's brilliant, and Epiphany is brilliant, and what Sonia Eddy brings to it is brilliant, and I just absolutely love her, and I love it. And having Epiphany a part of that, even in the small way, even when just people are walking by, and she just kind of holds the look.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Was just good.
Yeah.
It just added the gravitas. It made me think of when when Chase was sick. He was
Mm-hmm.
poisoned by Peter and was bedridden and lost the ability to walk, and then he couldn't see and all that. And we were like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, until the parents started to get involved, and we're like, okay, now
Mm-hmm.
this feels like a story. Kind of the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, when we start pulling in Epiphany, and then when they make the decision, we got Elizabeth there, we got Britt there, we got Sunny, we got Carly, we got Nina, we got everybody that has been involved in this pretty much there when the decision is made, and it just brought more to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just pleased with it. I was happy with it. I was happy with GH this week. What can I say? I was happy with it.
I was too. And I'd only missed a scene or two. I did miss a scene or two because I was so irritated with this, actually, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened. So they broke in on programming, I believe it was on Tuesday.
Oh,
And we missed like two, 1.5 segments of the show.
okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they broke in for? Now, on Tuesday here, now I get Sacramento feed, okay, because that's where I live closest to. It's raining cats and dogs on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's raining cats and dogs. Do you know they broke in to talk about how it was raining?
Why would they need to interrupt GH for something that you could just look
Exactly.
out your window to see?
Exactly.
Ah.
I was like, really? It's raining? Oh crap! I didn't know. Come on.
Oh, well, I mean, they just love
It's
to play
so
with that
bothersome.
GH time slot a lot. They
I
just love
know.
news breaks during the. But hey, you got
And I don't,
ABC.com, you got
news
Hulu.
breaks don't really bother me that much,
Uh-huh.
especially like I know that when it comes to government things, I think there's some understanding between the networks that if the president's coming on TV, you have to break in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just the way it is.
Yeah.
Just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But don't break in to tell me it's raining when I can see that clearly through my window. Come on.
I'm sorry. Uh, but hey, you got ABC.com, you got Hulu, you got plenty
I
of
know, but
ways.
you can't watch it right now.
Oh yeah, you had to wait for that evening, huh?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like to watch it. Like to start watching it around 1:45
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I can skip the commercials. It's
Mm-hmm.
early in the day.
Yeah.
I've just gotten home from work. It's early in the day. Get my General Hospital fixed out of the way. But Hulu, you got to wait, and
Yeah.
ABC.com, you got to wait.
Yeah. Yes. 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 You do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You don't have to wait on Paramount Plus for Survivor. That stuff's on immediately. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. They air it and then they put it on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
Yeah, like 10 minutes
nice.
later.
Well, I wish they would do that on ABC.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
fair. It's fair. Congratulations to the winner of Survivor this year or this season. I'm not going to say who it is in case we've got a listener who hasn't watched it yet because it's very fresh. And also, congratulations to the winner of The Masked Singer. That ended at the same time as well.
I didn't
Congratulations,
watch
winners.
any of The Masked Singer this
You
season.
didn't watch a
It
single
changed
one?
networks.
No, it's still on Fox.
No.
Maybe the
Hmm.
DVR just didn't catch it for some reason.
I don't know, for whatever reason didn't. I did see something though. Didn't Jewel win? Was it
Maybe.
Jewel?
I don't know. Perhaps.
No, either.
I don't know either. I mean, I totally know, but I'm not going
I
to
didn't
say
watch
just in
any of the
case.
season. I
Just in
didn't
case.
watch any of the season.
It's all right.
I
It's,
should
it's the
probably
same
watch
show.
the very last episode, and then they kind of recap it a tiny bit.
Yeah, yeah. They got that double thing. They got the retrospective and then the actual episode, the
Yeah.
ending. Oh boy, the ending episode. Yeah. So anyway, we're not here to talk about Masked Singer and Survivor. We're here to talk
No,
about General Hospital. The Davis girls were on,
they
so
were.
that was all. That's nice to see.
I always love to see the four Davis girls together.
They do so well together, like
They do.
they just do a great job. And then and just the fun family dynamic that exists between those four women
Hmm.
is good. Mom's gonna be his private eye. Well, that's a bad idea. 3 minutes, a lot longer than I actually expected to be. Guys, you're wrecking my thing here. I'm just trying to give her some
Yeah.
purpose.
Yes. Yes. Well, and when Alexis left and said I got an errand to run, I'm like, oh girl, you better not be going to get no vodka.
I
Um,
mean, I hope that the girls were thinking that.
yeah, you would think so, huh?
I mean,
But but they didn't. They never did allude to where Alexis actually went, though, did they?
she went to Rice Plaza and had the conversation with Harmony.
Oh, that's right. She did.
They were
She did.
having some sort of shopping festival fair thing at Rice Plaza during those episodes because everybody was there for their Christmas shopping.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were. That seems weird that she had to leave her girls to go do that, and it
She
seems
just needed to get out
weird.
of there.
Yeah, and it was weird that she was so evasive about where she was going. Unclear.
I really think that she was just simply feeling overwhelmed.
Hmm.
because she was doing this, and then oh yeah, private eye. Well, I mean, are you sure they're not taking advantage of you, Mom? I've done this a long time. This
Mm-hmm.
is this feels triggering. I need to get out. I need to get out of here.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I enjoyed it very much. For one thing, I got myself a ton of Christmas, didn't I?
You sure did. We got Christmas
I got
music
a
in
ton of Christmas.
every business. We got
I
trees.
think I got and the Corinthos and Sonny decorated the tree and
Yeah.
surprised Carly and everything.
Uh huh.
I loved all that. Oh, I loved all the Christmas. Yes, and the little canned music was there too. I mean,
Yes, yes. Even canned music. Even at was that where were they? They were at like Perks or something, and there was still canned Christmas music playing and such.
mhm.
Yes. It doesn't seem like we're going to be getting our Christmas time nurses ball that we wanted though.
No, doesn't look that way.
Nah, because they'd already be talking about it if it
But
was
you know what
happening.
I would like? Just what I would like to. This is an opportunity. Give us a Valentine's Day
That'd be
nurses
fun.
ball.
Don't go
That
breaking
would be
my
fun.
heart. I couldn't if I tried.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's only,
A
gosh,
couple months away.
after the first year, like 6 weeks,
Well, there you go. There you
right?
go. Yes. Well,
February 14th.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We definitely didn't get a nurse's ball this year, though.
I doubt they're not doing that though. They would be having to film that now, and I bet you they're not doing anything right now. They probably on break.
Uh, Probably right now they're on break. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be springtime again.
Maybe.
Mm. 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 I mean, if there's no drama to happen during the nurse's ball, there's no point in having one, right?
No, there's got to be backstory on the nurses' ball. There got to be some shenanigans going on behind stage or something.
Right. Yeah. 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 So let's wait until we can get some behind the scenes chicanery going
Hmm.
on, and then we can have another nurse's ball. Um, I don't know. Just makes me so excited too, because this week we didn't get any Laura and Marty. This week we didn't get
No,
any Ava and Nicholas. We didn't get any Sprina. We didn't get any Cameron Joss. We didn't get a number of characters. So I want to know what they're up to.
it was very Ashford heavy,
Yeah,
and it was Corinthos heavy.
yeah, yeah. Marshall and the baby ate the whole week.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's fine because I mean, it's prominent launches of current story. Well, ending of one and the launch of another one. And I don't know what this is going to mean for Brando and Sasha going forward. I don't know if they're going to be able to stick together. If this is just going to be too challenging for them. I think that it's going to be hard for Sasha to stay with Brando, honestly, and
I do
have the
too.
idea of, well, if I get pregnant by you again, uh, I feel like that's
Well,
going to be a
I
struggle
would
for her.
think anybody that would go through something like that would be afraid to become pregnant again, that the same thing might happen.
Yeah, hmm I would agree.
And
So
then I think you would be going through an immense amount of guilt if you did. And if it did happen again, you'd be going through an immense amount of guilt. I almost chose this time.
yeah,
But at the same time though, oh man, you'd want to have a child.
yeah.
Hmm. Oh, it was so hard.
It is going to be hard, and it's going to be really hard for Brando and Sasha because they really came together because she was pregnant. Now that the baby didn't live, we don't know if they're going to be able to stick together.
Mhm.
Plus, Sonny needs a new enforcer.
Yes, he
So
does.
it's either going to be Brando or Drew or somebody
You know what
new.
you're
We
gonna get
haven't seen
next
Sean in 6
week?
weeks.
You're gonna get something next week that I know you're gonna enjoy.
Is it Mardi Gras? Is there some
Oh,
Mardi Gras on next week?
it'll be that, yes. And
Yes.
we have not seen Gladys's reaction to this baby actually being gone.
No, the last we saw Gladys, she stormed out of the little waiting area because she was feeling an intense burst of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I think she had gotten the news that they had to make the decision
Mm-hmm.
and she wasn't able to handle it.
Mm-hmm. And she wasn't at the hospital when all this was going
You're
on. So,
right. I totally meant, oh my God. Oh,
yeah,
Gladys.
yes.
God.
Gladys has a big scene next week.
I
Wouldn't you
love
say?
it.
Wouldn't you say?
I would hope so. I didn't see any previews, so I don't know, but I would hope that she's gonna have a scene. They gave Elizabeth, her Jason's dead news off screen, so we'll see
Yeah.
what happens with Gladys. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad for Elizabeth because when she was saying that she's that she's had so much loss and
Yeah. Oh, I
but
don't.
now bad for Sam too because one of her babies got their dad back and the other baby lost him.
Yeah, yeah. She mentioned that.
Mhm.
She mentioned that. So, and gosh, so even though they didn't spend a bunch of time on Elizabeth and Peter and stuff, I think that they did spend enough time to get the point across because Elizabeth did say that Peter was responsible for not only Franco's death but Jason. And while Franco was not the biological father of her children, he was definitely a well-loved stepfather to all three of her kids. And also
Well,
Jason is
he was more of a dad to Aiden
and
than Lucky
Jason,
ever
the
has
Lucky and
been.
Jason, Um,
Yeah,
and then he's responsible for Jason's death, which is Danny's or Jake or whatever. Jake's daddy.
Jake's dad and Danny's dad.
Jake and Danny's daddy did.
Mhm.
Um, and so they had her mention that the fact that Peter was responsible for the death of her kids' parental figures.
Yeah,
And then that led into the whole scalpel. Maybe I should just stab in the neck right now thing.
yeah. But I personally want Peter to open his eyes and know he's dying.
Yeah. I just I don't know what I don't think he's gonna die of poisoning. Like we've talked about before, it's just we're gonna walk into his jail cell and he'll be dead and there'll be a big who did this? And it will
Hmm.
be Selena Wu until we find out it wasn't Selena, it was Charlotte Cassadine the whole time. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know.
I think he's gonna wake up.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they stabilized him. We stabilized him. They didn't want him, but we did it because we're doctors.
Hmm.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Listen, I don't know what else we didn't talk about, but now that we're YouTube famous, it's gonna be harder to do an hour and
Hey,
20. What's up?
hey, I tell you, Nina just told Olivia off, didn't
Oh
she?
yeah, I just Nina's great. She's so in love with Sonny. It's wonderful. Um,
She is so in love with Sonny.
so in love with him. It's amazing.
Yes, she is.
Just
Oh,
just listening to him pray.
and actually, and since it was a recited prayer,
Mm-hmm.
she was mouthing the words at the same
Yeah,
time.
she was.
It was, it was, it was. I really liked it. It was like a connection they didn't know they had at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she can hear how sad Sonny is.
Hmm.
Just praying
But
for the
he wasn't
Lord.
aware that she was over there doing that
No,
because
no,
she
no,
was
no, no, no. She got off lucky too with Nina or not Nina with Olivia and Carly walking up on her talking to Sonny.
Yeah, she did because I think Olivia was right. This Carly Corinthos.
The reason why you're not dead is because Kylie is happy her husband's back.
Yes.
If it wasn't for that, you'd be murdered. uh,
It was funny.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Nina told her off, and I think because they were in a public place, Olivia didn't pop off at her too much after that.
Yeah, no, but Olivia and
Um,
Ned are fine.
yeah, well, they mentioned Olivia and Ned are back together. I
Yeah,
mean, Olivia mentioned that um, she mentioned Leo's last name being changed to Quartermain soon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
She
they're
mentioned
they're
that
go
within that scene.
yeah they're going
So
back to the adoption.
yes, so Olivia and Ned are on their way back to being okay.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to share a big old kiss under the mistletoe next week.
Aww. Who's gonna kiss under the mistletoe as well? Is it gonna be Sprina? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, maybe they have to. Well, I hope they have everybody on next week because I want some Christmas for everybody.
Well, we gotta have ourselves a big Spencer family, Weber family, Gray family, Renault family, Christmas. Spencer Weber Renault Gray.
with my little sister
With
Laura.
my little sister Laura, and by the grace of God, my older brother Cyrus is just not going to be here.
He will be incarcerated.
He will continue to be incarcerated. Now, if Michael E. Knight does decide he wants to depart away from General Hospital at some point far, far, far in the future, do you think that maybe they can just hire me to replace him? Because doing this voice is a whole lot of fun for me, and I'd love to make a couple of bucks off of doing it.
Why not, Matt? Why not? They can make you a little more gray than you are. And give you some contact lenses.
Some contact lenses, and just give me the widest hair possible, because that's what Michael E. Knight's got now. They released some videos today. General Hospital did on their social medias of the cast wishing everybody a happy holidays,
I
Merry
saw
Christmas.
that.
Just a compilation of everybody in their family homes and stuff. You know, Sonny and Carleen, and Drew and Sam. Finn was in 2 of them. That was a lot of fun.
And Marty had a little Christmas hat on.
For all of those people who are naughty out there, which is, well, he didn't say that because he sounded like Michael E. Knight, which is not all Kentucky-like. He just used his regular voice. But I
sounded like Tad.
I mean, come on. Isn't that such a Tad line too?
Yes.
Goodness. Anyway, so I was trying to say that we need to come to the end of this podcast because we're doing it for an hour and 5 minutes. And now that we're YouTube famous, it's going to be harder for us to stretch into those hour 20, hour 30s, because people are going to jump off watching.
Okay.
But we can still talk if you want. Do you got more to talk about?
Well, did we cover everything?
I think we covered everything. We had an hour to do it, and we did it.
Of course, we jump around all the time.
All the time. Everybody's used to this. We've been doing this podcast for 2 years and 4 months. 4 months, we'll be doing it for 2 years. I think our audience is used to our style.
Yeah, they're used to us jumping on tangents and going back.
We don't take notes. We don't have show notes.
We don't.
We don't have topics we want to talk about. Honestly, before this podcast, Ma and I talked about for 40 minutes about life. Just about what we're up to and what's going on. And before we even hit record, we're like, what happened? Alexis was on, the Davises were on, and that was our prep work for the podcast.
Yeah. In the early months, we were a little more preparatory.
Yeah. My note taking took me out of the show though, so I had to stop. Yeah. And besides, once we stopped having new stuff to make notes on, we just started watching clips and reacting to it. We found our vibe, man. We found our balance.
I think we did.
We sure did. So, hey, if you're done with this and you want to listen to our voices some more, and you want to hear what we've had to say about GH for almost the last 2 years, by golly, boy, oh boy, do we have it for you. Every thought, every feeling, every time we were wrong, and every time we were right, which was very few times.
I know.
I mean, we're never going to be able to get over the Danny's dead thing. Like, that's going to haunt us forever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to haunt me forever because I was sure.
You were certain of
I was
it,
certain. I would have bet money on it. And I would have lost my shirt.
Incorrect. You were incorrect.
No, it's very much incorrect. Very much so.
Well, we were wrong about this baby, too. We didn't think this baby was going to...
No, but once we were presented with the maybe the baby won't make it, I'm like, the baby's not going to make it.
Yeah.
But that's all right. It's okay. Let's just end it how we started it. Such power from that storyline. And I left it feeling strong, which is strange. It's such a tragic thing, but I left that storyline, and Mike took the baby into the afterlife, and I felt good.
Mm-hmm.
I felt good. Yes, it was a tragedy for Sasha and Brando, but they did not make it a tragedy for that baby.
No. The baby was loved out of this world.
In the embracing arms of the man that I want to be my grandpa.
Yeah.
Max Gail, America's grandpa.
America's grandpa.
And it was just so nice to see. I just love the fact that he's there. I mean, he's very old. Max Gail.
I guess he's probably in his 70s.
He's old enough to have a hobble. All right.
Yeah.
When he was walking down the hallway with the baby, just a little hobble.
Yes,
But the
he had a little.
but the fact
Yeah.
that he's there and he's willing to do it and he's still willing to step into Mike's shoes and clearly he loved his time on General Hospital, that he
Oh, I think
continues.
so
I mean, he
too.
makes 2 or 3 cameos a year as a ghost.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
I'm with it too.
And what we can do is we can continue that. You know how Edward and Lila still walk Quartermains off into the sunset.
Yes.
We could do
Yes.
this with Mike too.
Oh, I think we
A
will.
taller guy, white hair with the cap and a windbreaker.
Mhm.
You'll know exactly who that's supposed to be.
Mhm.
When Max Scale decides he's done doing it, I'm not saying that when he croaks or just when he decides he doesn't want to come back for any more cameos, we can still do the Mike thing. I think. Um, so I'm with it. I'm into it. We're definitely at an hour and 10 minutes now. So I'm gonna get on the elevator. You can come with me if you want. If not, you can just continue to talk.
Well, don't let the door close on me. Just let me get in with you.
I'm already gone. Well, come on
All
into
right.
this elevator. Everybody, let's go back down to the first floor. All of us together. Let's go back down to the first floor. We're going to get out of this hospital going through those sliding doors, okay? We're going to go into the parking garage. Nothing bad's happened in a while. So hop on in there with confidence. Don't even have to keep your head on a swivel. Tune your little Spotify radio app to the 10th floor, GH. Get on out of here. Go spend some time with your families and Merry Christmas. I've
Merry
been mad.
Christmas,
I,
everybody.
I have been mad.
And I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you right here next time in person on the 10th
Live.
floor.
All righty. That's 11 o'clock, you guys.
11
If you want to
Pacific.
be, yeah, 11 Pacific. If you guys want to be and, chime in,
Mm-hmm.
that's when Matt and I will start.
Yes,
11
11 o'clock Pacific time. We will be live on YouTube. Check it on out. Come on down. It's youtube.com/10th floor GH. My goodness. Okay, so
Yep.
it's not that. It's not that. I got to admit, it's not that because we don't have 100 subscribers and we can't get a custom name until we get 100 subscribers. So go to our
Subscribe.
Twitter, find the link, click the link, and then subscribe. Or if you listen to this on your podcaster, you can go to YouTube and then search 10th Floor GH Podcast, and hopefully you'll be able to find the video version of what you just listened to, and you can subscribe from there.
And if you don't, somehow Mama Cat's going to find a way to put you on restriction.
And if you can't figure it out, send us a message on Twitter, send us an email, 10thfloorgh@gmail.com, and I will do my best to get you orientated. Go spend some time with your
There you
families. I've been
go.
Matt. She's been Kat. Goodbye.
Bye.